Hello guys, and I have presented the Morbius strip, and my name is Sari Cataron. So I have my table of contents here, which I have the introduction of the Morbius strip, and the second chapter is on properties and calculations, which is related to differential geometry, and I have talked about it in space. There was many references from movies, shows that I watched, and history, the history behind the strip, and my sources. So my introduction. So this is a surface that is formed by attaching the ends of a strip of a paper together with a half twist. It is a non-orientable surface, which it means it cannot distinguish one being clockwise or counterclockwise by its turns. It was discovered by Johann Benedict Lustig and August Ferdinand Mobius in 1858. And what is the big deal about the Mobius strip? It only has one side and one edge. People can connect this idea to the infinity strip. The surface is orientable and it only doesn't contain an embedded Mobius strip. In this case, it's orientable. And I have a clip from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which I really enjoy because it's one of my favorite shows. And it is an anime that's really popular, very mainstream, and they have talked about Mobius strip. So if you're lost in watching the video, it's about this fight, and Jolene has the ability to create thread, and she ends up trying to heal herself using a Mobius strip.
表面を指でたどっていく。さらにずずっと。一度も指を離さず表面をたどっていくと、いつの間にか裏面に入り、一周してスタートした地点に戻る。これが19世紀にドイツの数学者が発見した表裏のない形。彼の名を冠してメビウスの輪と呼ぶ。
表があるから裏返る。裏も表もなければ裏返りはしない。裏も表も。
So you saw the clip. It's really cool. I really enjoy watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it has such cool things, super cool abilities. Anyways, back to what I was doing. So properties and differential geometry. This is the equation for it. R cosine t, r sine t, and 0. And it ranges between t to 0 to 2 pi. Its properties is the Cartesian coordinates, which I have labeled there by the x, y, z coordinates, and it's by 0 to 2 pi and -1 to 1. And I have made a link in Desmos where you can see its properties. I have provided it here and how it looks like. If I change A, you can tell that the strip is longer and from its surface. Okay, anyways, like I was saying, this is the Desmos that I've made, and if you notice, if I change A, the strip is very long from the sides. So if I did it to like 40, it's wider, and I guess you can see that vice versa when I'm typing certain values, but when it's that's at around 0.30, and I have its properties by its coordinates and the number 1, and I have mentioned by its coordinates that it's at A to A, of course, because the values are different here in Desmos, and 0 to 2 pi for V. So the characteristics of Morbius strip, it is a 3-dimensional object. It returns to the same point in the strip. When I showed the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it was mentioning that you go through the strip, you're putting your finger around it, and you'll still end up in the same point as it was before. And I looked at its curvature, it's at 0, anywhere. It does peak around 2 pi divided by a third, and also 4 pi divided by a third. But it is at 0, always. Torsion. Also torsion's at 0, and it only peaks at 2 pi to the third and 4 pi divided by the third. It is not a geodesic because since geodesics typically refer to the shortest path between points on a curved surface, it is a 2-dimensional surface with one side and one edge. It can be embedded in a three-dimensional space, or it may intersect geodesics depending on the surface itself. It's in 3D space. And Gauss curvature, it'll be 0. Anywhere in the strip. And its first fundamental form is a torsion array. Its curvature squared plus 1. Second fundamental form will be 0. And its mean curvature will be 0 everywhere in space, which is so cool because I have seen many videos about the Mobius strip. In Avengers, I think Tony Stark invents time travel by looking at a Mobius strip, by looking at a certain point.
Loud inspiration. Let's see if it checks out. So I'd like to run one last sim before we pack it in for the night. This time in the shape of a Mobius strip. Invert it, please.
Processing.
Right, give me the eigenvalue of that particle factoring in spectral decomp. That'll take a second.
Just a moment.
And don't worry if it doesn't pan out. I'm just kind of...
Model rendered.
People in theory think about that time travel is based off the strip. And the continuum of crossing a Mobius strip is embedded how we experience time in a non-linear way. There are many figure of narrative implications of the Mobius strip, and one is that you have to try to go forward, but you return back to the same point. People ask themselves, are we in the same loop or are we in the new beginning? Which people have related this to time travel. Also in Avengers, Tony Stark was trying to invent time travel, trying to figure it out, which took him a while, but he ends up finding a certain point and stuff to stop Thanos. So there is a lot of theories where the Mobius strip is related to time and space and relativity. History. The history behind it all. It was independently discovered by two German mathematicians in 1858. August Ferdinand Mobius was a mathematician and theoretical astronomer, and Johann Benedict Listing, who coined the term topology, which is study of these surfaces. Johann actually invented the terminology of topology because of the strip. So it's very interesting. And that's the study of surfaces. The real-life applications, you can also measure this by trajectory of charged particles trapped in the magnetic field of the Earth, as Van Allen belts that it describes a Mobius strip before it is to move to become chaotic. There's also proteins that are structural composition is the same as a Mobius strip, and certain logos like the Google Drive logo, the recycling logo is a Mobius strip. So this is the end of the presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. This is also giving credit to SlidesGo because I use their slides in my sources that I have used. Here's all the references of the photos, and here's the other source. Thank you. Have a nice day.